Hello viewers, welcome back. This video we are going to be learning OSPF multi-area. Before getting started, let's get to know what is OSPF. OSPF stands for Open Shortest Path First. OSPF, Open Shortest Path First, is a dynamic routing protocol and an interior gateway protocol. Interior gateway protocol means this protocol can be used inside an autonomous system used to distribute IP routing information throughout a single autonomous system, which is called AS, in an IP network. Two routers speaking OSPF to each other, exchanging information about the routes they know and the cost to reach there. Okay, the protocol number 89 for OSPF, and the AD value, administrative value, is 110, and metric is cost, and the multicast used by OSPF are 224.0.0.5, which is from DR to R, or routers between normal OSPF speaking routers, or from designated router to OSPF speakers, and 224.0.0.6. This multicast address for routers to designated routers. So designated routers will listen to this multicast address. So if the DR receives only this multicast address, okay. Next, OSPF is a link state protocol, okay. So the LSDB must be identical within an area. So the LSDB, which is a link state database, must be identical. So the entire area should have this same LSDB, which is link state database. Then OSPF is a classless protocol, so carries a subnet mask. Classless protocols carries subnet mask. That is the difference between classful and classless. Classful protocols do not carry subnet mask. For example, RIP version 1. Then classless networks carry subnet mask. Here, OSPF uses wildcard mask, which is straight opposite to subnet mask. Okay, let's go to the areas. Okay, I have already published a video on OSPF. In this video, only about OSPF multi areas. Let's go to the areas. Types of areas here. There are 5 types of areas in OSPF. First, backbone area, which is called area 0. Then standard area, which is the normal area. Then stub area, which blocks type 3 LSA. Then totally stubby area, which blocks type 3, type 4, and type 5 LSAs. Not so stub area uses type 7 LSA. Okay, so backbone area is the heart of OSPF. This area distributes the routes between other areas. So it functions as the distributor. So every area must be connected to backbone area. So then standard area is like the backbone area, but it will not distribute the routes between areas. It will get updates from backbone area. It will receive type 3, type 4, all the LSAs all types of LSA will be received by standard area. Okay, then stub area will not receive type 3 LSA. It blocks type 3 LSA. Stub area blocks type 3 LSA. No, it is not type 3, it is type 5 LSA. Stub area blocks type 5 LSA. Small correction. Stub area blocks type 5 LSA, which is external LSA. Okay, so external LSA means updates, routing updates from other protocol like RIP, EIGRP, PGP. So these routes will be blocked by stub area. Then totally stub area blocks type 3 LSA and type 4 and type 5 LSA. So it will not receive any summary LSA and summary ASBR LSA, then external LSA. So it will not receive type 3, type 4 and type 5 LSA. Then not so stub area uses type 7 LSA, which we will see that in another video because it is an interesting and big topic. We will see that later. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to configure backbone area, standard area, stub area, and totally stub area. Then I will explain, I will show you how they work in the using packet tracer. Okay, so we are going to configure on the routers now. Okay, let's go to the routers. This is our scenario. Here we have this red color area, which is our backbone area. This is our backbone area, the red color. Then the green color, this would be our standard area. This is going to be our standard area. Then the blue one, this is our stub area. Then the pink one, this is our totally stub area. Okay, totally stub area, pink, stub area, blue, then standard area, green, then backbone area, red. Okay, so backbone, standard, stub, totally stub. So these are the 4 areas. Now we are going to configure. The last one, not so stub area, uh, will be covered in another video. Okay, okay, let's get started. Okay, now we have 2 routers on the backbone area. The interface, this interface belongs to area 1. So the area ID is area 1. For standard area ID 1. Stub area ID 2, as you see here. Then totally stub area, the area ID is 3. And the backbone area, the area ID is 0. Okay, so here is our ABR. This router will be the area ID. These two routers will be the ABRs, area border routers, and they are also the backbone routers. They are also called the backbone routers because they reside in the backbone area. So the routers reside in the backbone area are called backbone routers. And also this router resides between areas, between area 1 and area 0. So they are also called ABRs, area border routers. Okay, and this is other protocol. This is RIP. So this is RIP. Here we are going to configure RIP protocol. Okay, so okay, now I'm going to configure area 0. I'm going to open the router. Then I'm going to the control line. Okay, I have done all the basic configuration. Here you can see the network that I have configured. Here for backbone area, this link 1.1.1.0 and 1.1.1.2 here 1.1.2 and 1.1.3 here 1.1.4 here 1.1.5 and 1.1.6 this is 6 and 5 7 so 3 5 7 2 4 6 then here 1 here 2.2.2 4 and 6 okay. These are the networks, the IP address I have configured. So all the basic configurations have been done. So I'm going to enable the OSPF now. Okay. Let me show you the routing table. IP do show IP route. Here you can see only we have the directly connected networks only shown here. So there is no other protocols, no dynamic updates here. There is no dynamic routes available. So I'm going to enable router OSPF. Then we have to give the autonomous system. The range is from 1 to 65,535. So I'm going to give just 1. So this is our autonomous system 1. So I'm going to, there are two ways we can enter network or neighbor. Okay, so I'm going to use network because we are using multi-area. We are configuring multi-area OSPF. So network, I will show you, this neighbor using command in next video. So far we will go with network 1.1.1.0 space 0.0. This is the wildcard mask for this IP address. Then area 0. You can see autonomous system 1. So this the entire network will have the same autonomous system, and here you can see the network ID and the area ID that I have configured. Okay, next 2 and 3 I have to configure all the directly connected networks. So this router I'm going to advertise 1 network, 2 network and 3 network, all the directly connected network I'm going to advertise. So I'm going to advertise the second 2 network, and I'm going to advertise the 3 network. So I have advertised all the 3 networks on this router. Next I'm going to this router. Okay. Enable config T, then router OSPF 1 network 2.2.2.0 space 0.0.0.255 area 1. Because you can see this network 2.2.2.0, which is area 1. Okay, so this interface area 1. Then I have to advertise this network also. Network 1.1.1.0, then 0.0.0.255 area 0. So this network belongs to area 0. Okay, so far good. I am not going to advertise this interface, this link, because it belongs to the different protocol. Okay, so this time I'm going to advertise the OSPF network only. Okay, now all the configuration in the area 0 have been done. Now I'm going to the standard area. Okay. Enable config T. This is our area, standard area. So area 1 OSPF. So all the areas will have the same autonomous system number. Then network 2.2.2.0. Then the wildcard mask 0.0.0.255. Then area ID is 1. Here you can see the area ID 1, the network, 2 network, 4 network, and 6 network. 6 network, 4 network, and 2 network. So I'm going to advertise. Here we are getting updates from the area 0, backbone area. Okay. Network 4 has been advertised, and network 6 also been advertised. Let me show you the routing table. As we are getting updates from area 0. IA means inter area. Inter area means from the other area. You can see here. Okay, E1 OSPF external type, then IA OSPF inter area route. Then O means OSPF, so intra area. If you see just O, which means intra area, IA means inter area, E1 means external type 1, E2 means external type 2. There are two types of external, and we will see that in another video. Okay, next. Okay, these we are getting updates from area 0. So far good. Next, config T at router OSPF 1 autonomous system ID 1, then network 2.2.2, sorry 4.0, I think 4.0. Here 6.0, so here 4.0, this link. Search space, then wildcard mask, then area ID 1. So we are getting updates. Let me show you. Here you go. You are getting updates from area 0. Enable config T, then router OSPF 1, then network 2.2.6.0 space wildcard mask, then area ID 1. Let's byte. Are we getting the update? It will take some time. Let's go to the other router. You will see that in later. Okay. Now I have configured everything. The area 1. I'm going to area 2. Okay, first this router. Enable config T, router from system 1 network 1.1.2.0 0.0.0.255 vertical mask. Then area ID is 2. Then 4 network 4 network here received invalid packet mismatch area ID from backbone area must be virtual link but not found from 1.1.0.1. Okay, there is a mistake on this router. Here I have to configure different area IDs. Here you can see. So 1.2 is on area 1, sorry, area 2, and 1.3 is on area 3. Here, now everything looks good. What the mistake that I have done is I have advertised this network as area 0. That was the mistake. Now I have corrected. You can see here area 2 now. Second network goes to area and 3 network goes to area 3. Now everything looks fine. Now I have to cancel this one. So 4 network, then 6 network. Sorry, area ID is 2. For this also area ID 2. Area ID has been changed. Okay, we are getting, let's see. Not getting updates. Okay. Okay, let's see what mistake we have done. Here you can see area ID mismatch. So to network, we have to give the area ID as 2. Okay, that's the mistake that we've done. Okay, config T, then router 1, router OSPF 1, network 1.1.2.0.0.0.0.255, then area ID 2. You can see changed from area 4 to area 2. Now we are getting the updates. Okay, let me show you. Here we are getting updates. We are getting updates from area 1 and area 0. Now we are going to configure this area ID, area as stub area. So I'm going to add an extra command, which is area, then area ID, which is 0, then stub. This is the command. Now I have given this command. So let's see what will happen. Now next router, config T, router OSPF, area ID autonomous system number 1, then network 1.1.6.0, then 0.0.0.25, area 2, then the extra command area ID 2, then stub. Okay, so by giving this command, we are configuring this area as stub area. So I have to give this command on the routers, all the routers in the area. Okay, now the balance router, only one router is left. Config T, router OSPF 1, then network 1.1.4.0, then 0. Wildcard mask 255, then area ID 2, then the extra command for stub area ID is 2, then stub. Let's see, now we got the update. Now let me show you the routing table. Now you can see we are getting routing updates of area 2. So we are getting 4 network, sorry, 6 network and 2 network. Okay, now we have configured this area as stub area. Now one command is left. I'm going to give command in this on the area border router. This is the ABR, area border router. I'm going to give area ID 2 as stub. Okay, let's see what is going to happen. Let's go to this router. To show IP route, we are getting updates of area 0 and area 1. have given the command area to stub area. But here you can see there is a default route created. Here you can see there is a default route created. Okay, so if you come here stub area blocks type 5 LSA. So type 5 LSA mean external LSA. Okay, type 5 LSA mean external, which means RIP updates. So this area will not receive RIP updates, but it will receive routing updates of area 1, area 0, which means standard area, backbone area, and the intra area. So this router is receiving, and a default route is created for external area. For type 5 LSA, it has created a default route. A default route to what? To the ABR. So a default route to the ABR. Here you can see that clearly. So here a default route to ABR. So here you can see. So for this area, if I want to send some data from this router, here this router will not have any route for this network, but it has what? The default route to this router. Then this router has a default route to ABR. So ABR will have this network's IP address. Okay, this network route for this network. So it will route the packet. So this is the concept, because we are reducing the load. Okay, so we are just reducing the CPU usage. Okay, next, totally stub area. I'm going to configure this area as totally stub area. So this pink color one. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm opening this router, enable config T, then router OSPF1, then network 3, 5, and 7. 1.1.3.0, then subnet mask 0.0.0, sorry, wildcard mask 0, then area ID 3, the area ID for this area is 3, area ID 3. Next, network 5 and network 7. Okay, then an extra command for configure this area as totally stub area. Okay, let's type the command area, then area ID, which is 3, then stub, another extra command, which is no summary. If we give this command, which means this area is totally stub area. Okay, on this router, let's give the commands. Configuration, enable config T, then router OSPF 1, autonomous system number 1, then network 1.1.5.0, then wildcard mask 255, then area ID 3, then the extra command area, then area ID, then stop, then no summary. Then next to router, enable config T, config T, then router, then OSPF, then autonomous system number. Next, network 1.1.7.0, then wildcard mask, then area ID 3, then the extra command area, then area ID, stub, then no summary. Now let's see the routing table. Here you can see we are getting the updates of network 5 and 3, but we are not getting updates from area 1, 2 and 0. Let me give one more command on this router. On ABR, I'm going to give another command, which is area, then area ID 3, then stub, no summary. So I have to configure this command on all the routers in the area, including the ABR. Okay, this is the ABR. Here, this is the ABR. If I configure RIP also, then this router will become the ASBR, Autonomous System Border Router, because it resides in between two protocols. One is OSPF and another is RIP. Okay, let me show you the routing table again. Here you can see an OSPF default route has been created. You can see the stub area blocks update from all other areas. So this stub area blocks summary LSA. Summary LSA means update from ABR. It blocks update from ABR. So it will not receive the routing updates of stub area, standard area, and backbone area. So the totally stub area blocks type 3, type 4, and type 5 LSEs. Type 5 from RIP, then type 4 also from type 4 from ABR, type 3 also from ABR. So it blocks update from ABR. For other, to reach other areas, totally stub area uses a default route to ABR. Here also you can see a default route to ABR. Here you can see the IP address of ABR here, 1.1.1.3. The interface of 0/2, which is 1.1.3.3.1. Here also you can 3 is, see here, default root to 1.1.3.1. So it creates a default route to ABR, and in stub area also we can see it receives updates from other areas, but it will not receive updates from other protocols, which is external routes will not be received. Here you can see your routing table from standard area from this router. Okay, the routing table from standard area. This router is getting updates from area 0, area 2, area is getting updates from backbone area, stub area, and totally stub area. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 8 networks. It is getting 8 networks. Sorry, it is getting 7 networks. You can see network 2, network 3, network 4, network 5, network 6, network 4 here, network 5 here, network 7 here. So it is getting updates from total, all the areas, updates of all areas. Now, stub area and totally stub area, backbone area, and also from RIP updates. Okay, so this standard area is getting updates from all the areas. So it receives type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, and type 5 LSE. So all the LSEs. So it is receiving up to type 5 LSE. Okay. And the backbone area, let's go to the backbone area. Do show p. Now we can see it is receiving updates from all the areas, stub area, total stub area, and standard area, and also external routes. So the backbone area is receiving updates from all the areas, and it is distributing updates from sorry to all to the areas. Okay, so the standard area is receiving updates from backbone area. Okay, so the stub area receiving updates of standard and backbone area from the backbone area. Totally stub area will not receive any updates. Then it only receives updates inside the area. Okay, so these are the difference between standard area, backbone area, stub area, and total stub area. Not so stub area will be covered in another video, and also the external LSA will be also covered. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Please put your questions in the comment section, and thanks for watching the video. Bye bye. Take care.